Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. I guess I was waiting for me to reply.
You should reply to yourself.
Hey,
Say
guys.
hello.
Well,
How's it going? Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving.
thanks for having me. Yeah, you pulled the trigger a little soon there, didn't you? Already get the Christmas tree up, the Merry Christmas sign in the background. You're one of those
Day after
people.
Halloween. Day after Halloween. Good.
No way.
My daughter would disagree, but I do actually. I think getting it done a day or two before makes a lot of sense because, like, I don't know, we're just so busy this like coming up weekend, and it's like I don't want to mess with Christmas stuff.
Yeah, I know you do
Exactly.
like your Thanksgiving stuff the day after actual Thanksgiving, whereas we have a tradition with some family friends of ours. We go up to North Georgia, or not really North Georgia, but North Atlanta, cut down our own tree. That's like the start of Christmas for us. So Black Friday is our hard start, and I don't allow the Christmas decorations to even be brought up beforehand. They're sitting right there across from me in the basement. I can see them right now.
You're like, no Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Well,
very sure.
for,
And I try to make sure the tree is out to the street before January 1st, the latest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Denver and
disagree.
I, since we don't do Thanksgiving on the day of Thanksgiving, we do it the next day. We're starting our tradition of Lord of the Rings Day, and so we're gonna watch all of the extended versions, and we're gonna have all of the meals that have been described, and so we're gonna
Ooh.
eat like 10 times and watch all those movies all day, and it's gonna be great.
So you're still honoring Thanksgiving in your own way because you'll be stuffing yourself and gorging yourself on food all day long. So there you go.
The only thing I know that I'm responsible for right now is some sort of small fowl. So I mean, I'm either quail or Cornish hen. Really? It's
Okay.
like
All right.
the duck was on the table, but I'm like, I know that is small fowl, but it's different. It's different.
I don't care for duck. I'm not a duck fan.
I love duck, like
Yeah.
a nice duck breast, like with a crispy skin,
nice.
and
Yeah. I think you've brought it to a tailgate before. You had some crispy duck
I
skin or
did,
something like
you're
that, and I was
right,
like,
yeah.
I can't. Anyhow, all right, we can talk about more about that stuff kind of later. All right, dear God, the season's almost over.
That's why the tree's up, man. I just want to focus on anything else other than Georgia State football.
Anything more positive than what we've seen for the past, was it 11 weeks, 12 weeks? Dear God.
Well, I mean, if you go look at the box score for the Troy game, we killed them in everything except for the score.
It's weird how that matters so much, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it is interesting because, like, you know, people talk about like, oh, this stat or that stat is an indicator, blah blah blah, but like, you know, it doesn't actually matter. I mean, we score. I mean, I think we had like over 500 yards, and they had like just over 300 yards total.
Well,
and we didn't do shit. You know, Vayer had over 300 yards passing.
Actually looked
Crazy
decent.
stuff.
Weird. I don't know.
But he didn't score. You know, so it's like, what? I don't care how much you pass if you don't score.
we got a touchdown, didn't we? Did we get a touchdown with Bear in the third quarter?
Well, 300 yards though. You score one time. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
that's a problem.
Neat, man.
But yeah, it was the same. It was just the same stuff, you know. Through injury, we had two quarterbacks play. You know, each had played half the game. Cam went down there at the end of the first half, and Bear came in and played the rest of it because Finley's gone. And I think we saw that Hatter is gone too. So we really only have Cam and Bear, and no idea if Cam will be back for this last game or not. But yeah, we missed another field goal. Made a couple.
Made a
Missed
lot of
one.
field goals. They're coming all over the place.
Hey, field goals.
But
yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just it's a lot of the same stuff. It wasn't that bad of a loss, but it's another loss. We're about to play a team that is just, you know, I think they're
ready to destroy everything.
They're on a 4-game win streak, and they've been outscoring their opponents by an average of like 24, 25 points in each game. And I think that's what the spread, I think that's what the line is. It's like 24, 26 points or something with them being favored.
That's a close to a P4 line for us, you know?
Right.
I mean, this is in conference Old Dominion.
I know that was supposed to be the gimme game. Yeah, every season, like, you know, that's the one thing about being in the East. The East is going to be tough with the teams we have here, but at least we've got Old Dominion we can beat up on every season, just like the West has Monroe. Monroe's got a conference win. We don't have a conference win.
Yeah. I mean, they obliterated Southern TDS. last week,
Yes.
right? Just killed them. I mean, it wasn't even a game.
Yeah, they beat him by more than the 34-7 we beat him down there,
No, I
so
saw
many
that
years ago now.
so many years ago. But hey, stranger things have happened with Georgia State football. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, we lost to Old Dominion the last game of the season. Was it a couple of years ago when we thought that was going to be like a little icing on the cake? And nope, they manhandled us then. I don't know what ODU did, but they did it right this season. They've outscored their. So we've been outscored over the season. We've been outscored by 200 points. We've given up 200 more points than we've scored, and they have been outscoring their schedule by 144 points on the season, and 96 of that is just in these last 4 games. So,
and they can't even get to the Sun Belt championship game because of that other pesky school.
but Jimmy Madison laid the hurt down on them. It was like 63-7 or something absurd like that, right?
Maybe they peaked like 2 games ago.
Maybe
We're
so.
hitting them at
Maybe.
just the right time, right?
Yeah. Maybe we could really just screw them up and do nothing for us. Like, that's the thing, is I don't even care if we win this game. Like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
I just want to get it over with.
I know, right? If we win, I'm gonna be happy if we win. I'm not gonna be ecstatic. I'm not gonna be bouncing off. I'm gonna be happy that we won a game, that we didn't go through the season going 0 in conference, 0 wins against an FBS opponent, and that's a little bit of a little jab, but there'll just be the talk of, well, they're already bowl eligible, so they were resting some people and blah 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 blah. There's always excuses. Everyone's got excuses. It's never that we were just a better team. And honestly, if we do beat ODU this week, I'm not sure if we were the better team. It may be all those excuses that ODU gives.
Maybe for our last game, we'll finally get it all together, right?
Yeah, well, wouldn't that be something?
Offense, defense, special teams.
Get a 41-7 win out of this whole game. That'd be something else.
The Sun Belt has such a lack of consistency in general that anything can happen in any game, but it really still no matter what happens, my conclusion about this season is the same thing, because the trend is that we just kind of aren't very good, and whether our players can throw the ball and get the yardage and all that stuff, it feels like this team just in general is not very good.
I mean, I think I'm with Tim though on what you said. About the line about putting it all together, because it's been like that this season. When the offense seems to be clicking, the defense gives up the points. Or when we're in a close contested game, special teams just blows it for us. There's just never been a game where we just looked good from top to bottom. Even the Murray State game, it was a win, but we still gave up 21 points to a bad FCS team. I think they're a bad FCS team. So we just never looked good from top to bottom. If we could put it all together in one game from for all 4 quarters, who knows what the season would have been like. But something's going on that coaching staff, something's going on in that locker room, and it doesn't sound like, from things that you can see, people are posting on social media, some of the stuff that we've heard from other people that have been to games, been around some other people, it doesn't sound very good going on over there right now.
Is there anything you can share on that? Because I haven't heard through the grapevine anything like that, but I don't know.
Nothing that I can confirm 100%.
Sure.
But we've had a couple of different Patreon members of ours who were at games on the sidelines, hearing players cursing at the coaches, the coordinators. I've heard some stories of messages from coach. I mean, coaches yelling at players. You guys kind of expect coaches to be yelling at players, but it seems like it's been more personal attacks, like insults, than it is about why did you miss this play? Just calling him an idiot or an MFer or something like that. I don't know. I can't confirm anything.
Yeah,
but
that is. I think what you said is exactly right. Players need to respect their coaches. That's
there's
just
no room for that.
That's where you're at right now. You're here to learn, and the coaches are here to teach you. And that's the education you're getting right now. And it is what it is. And maybe you disagree, but you still need to respect them. They earn their spot there. And vice versa too. The respect needs to happen. Coaches can't just be yelling at players. If that's happening, that's atrocious. I haven't heard that. I guess I heard through our chat people say they heard that, but I don't know what was exactly happening there.
We need to get some HR. I know someone that is in HR. We need to get him onto the team, and then to kind of manage all of that back and forth between the leadership and the the employees of the team.
You know, the thing is, it all comes down to one person. This is just clearly a sign that McGee does not have control of not just the locker room, but also his coordinating staff. If any of this is remotely close to being true, McGee should not allow his coaches to, be treating players like what we've heard or, the speculation that's out there. And the players should have the respect for the head coach that he just doesn't let this kind of thing happen. So something's going on. I don't know. We heard, I don't know how much truth there is to this, but Cam Brown will be back if McGee is back. So if that is true, then that means Brown obviously has a connection with McGee. He likes him, and if your quarterback likes the head coach, then something's got to be going right. Even after the weird season we've had with him not even starting for the half of the season when he clearly should have been. And we're going to have bring in at least a couple of quarterbacks in the offseason so that it doesn't mean that if Cam sticks around that he's definitely got that job. I like him. Keep him healthy. I think it'd be great to see a full season with him.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think at a minimum, McGee's probably back, and I hope there's an edict to cycle out all those coordinators and assistants and bring in something fresh, because what we have definitely is not working. It is somehow worse than last year's program.
Yeah, we've talked about several weeks we've been talking about whether or not Cobb keeps McGee, and whether we want Cobb to be the one that picks through the next coaches and everything. But not even that any longer. How much cleaning house should McGee be doing with his own coordinating staff?
All of them.
Right.
All of them.
Yeah.
I don't see Cobb getting rid of McGee. Like, history says that's not happening.
Right.
I'd be surprised if he's gone. I mean, Sean Elliott would still be here if he didn't leave to go to South Carolina. So why do you think McGee would get the axe? I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see McGee going anywhere. There was some talk on Panther Talk about, when McGee came in here, it looked like it was one of those moves to make us a dominant team in the Sun Belt immediately. Like, this is the guy that's going to have an immediate impact, immediate turnaround the program. We kind of gave him a little bit of slack because he came in, after the start of the very early start of our spring practice and everything. This is supposed to be the season where we're going to see it all kind of come together and see what kind of team he could put together. The talent was there. This is our best recruiting class of all time. How many of these guys do we keep? What's it going to look like after Saturday? What's that portal going to look like?
Oof.
How many Georgia State players are going to be entering the portal come Saturday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon?
Is that
I mean,
when it
how many were
opens?
told that's what
I don't
they
know
were
if it
doing?
opens. I don't know when it actually opens, but they're just going to say, "I'm going
I
to the
thought it
portal."
opens in January this year, is what I read.
Yeah, but they'll still say they are going into it.
I'm gonna elect to. Right.
Because whether they're actually their names in this mythical portal, whatever it is, because I wish there was actually a list you could see what was going on in there. If they can say they're going into it, I will be entering there. Thanks to everybody. I'm 100% committed to Georgia State and all the coaches and all the fans. You're the best in the world. With that being said, I'm entering the transfer portal.
The good old
discussion
iOS.
with my family and my pastor. We've decided the best thing for me to continue my college and athletic career is entering the transfer portal, and then
Ryan,
they end up going.
You might know this,
they
Ryan.
end up going to some JUCO or Division III team.
Do you know why all the players like to use the iOS notepad to do their recruiting? I'm leaving or I'm committing. Is that?
I think that was just old school Twitter, with the character limit, and so they would put it up on there. So it was a picture.
So
That's
Tim,
funny.
with you and I being the iPhone, normal people, and Ryan being the weirdo with the Android thing, I think that we could actually look at it and see if anybody ever
Is
posted
that why I'm a weirdo? I'm a weirdo for so many other reasons.
It's one of the reasons.
Just that one.
So if we ever see a player that posts his thing with the notepad, we're like, oh man, that's a bummer. But if we see somebody posting that they're leaving using the Google Notes app, whatever they have, I'll be like, oh good. That guy was ruining the locker room with his green texts.
Your green text ruined the team morale. The entire team. It's done.
Exactly.
I don't want you to post this, but I'm reading our public chat. Shout out to the Owls up north. They had a fantastic year. I hope you can keep your coach. I doubt you will. And we'll see what comes next for you. There you go.
And they are going to kick our asses next season.
They could very well kick our ass
We're
next
going to be
season
up
if
there.
McGee does not get it together.
I think it's week 2, maybe it's week 3. It's early in the season. We'll be up there, and yeah, they're just gonna. I have all expectations, and that will be the lowest point when Georgia State loses to Kennesaw. Will be the lowest point in Georgia State's short football history. In my
Might as
Yeah,
well
I mean,
join
Jabari says
Conference
that
USA.
Jabari says you still talk down on Kennesaw State, and I'm like, I think you haven't tuned in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
'Cause, the last few times we brought up Kennesaw State, it's been to be like, oh, shit, we're gonna get beat by them.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
like I want to talk down to Kennesaw State. I want to have that big brother complex over Kennesaw State, but we've done everything we could in the past couple of years to, set ourselves back. Hell, I was just last season, I was getting direct messages from our Kennesaw State buddy podcast. Whatever they called, the Owls or whatever they're called. Anyhow, he messaged me. He's like, because when Kennesaw State was like 0-7 or 0-8 to start the season, he's like, man, how did you? This may have been kind of a double-edged sword or kind of a slap in the face. Like, how did you guys handle sucking so bad? I'm like, well, thanks for reaching out to me, but don't have to rub it in that we suck so bad for so long. But I was like, no, like don't worry about it, guys. You guys will get there. It'll turn around for you. It's a difficult transition. Not everybody can be a Jimmy Madison or Appy State or something. And sure enough, they turned it around after beating Liberty, and they're doing good. I now still think that we should always be better than them. And Al Chat podcast, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Our buddy Kai Millet. Yeah. He's a good guy.
They made a good hire. Their head coach hire was a home run. Who knew? Ours looked like one, but it was a mirage.
And I think we talked about this a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago. The one thing that Kennesaw State definitely does have over Georgia State is that even a small town as what Kennesaw is, people take a little bit of pride about being from Kennesaw. They like it. So just living in Kennesaw, hell, you could have moved here from New Jersey and lived in Kennesaw for the past 20 years and never gone to Kennesaw State. But like, oh, it's the neighborhood team. It's like the local high school. You just go out there and you support them. Oh, cool. I'm glad to see my little town's doing well. You just don't have that because downtown Atlanta doesn't have that kind of downtown community pride or whatever. No one's like just proud of being in downtown. And if they are, it's not because of Georgia State. It's because of a zillion other things that Atlanta has to offer. So that's a +1 in that column for them.
Yeah. And they have room and space to grow. I would dig in the comment. Did you see the new KSU baseball stadium? Yes, we did. We saw it. And we are hoping beyond hope our administration puts a shovel in a piece of ground somewhere. Maybe. I don't even know if it's really officially kicked off. Did it? Do we know?
No, I hear no.
I guess you know what? They punted. So they have like a whole nother season, right? Like it's not happening.
It's gonna be like this, like fictitious. Oh, like what is it? Just opened up the Beltline. Just opened up a bridge over to Ansley Mall so you don't have to like go through whatever. And apparently, it's been built for like 2 years, but it's just been roped off. They're not allowed anybody to use it, and they're just opening it for 2 years. And I feel like that's the kind of Atlanta development we're having with the baseball stadium. We're gonna tarp off. We're gonna fence out the entire green lot, and it'll sit there for 2 years before we actually do the thing. And hell, at that point, how much is the costs are going to go up even more to build the whole thing?
Yeah, I hope they get it. I hope they get started soon, just so like the players can get used to it before the season starts. They can practice there in the fall, right?
I don't know.
They never stop practicing. They're always practicing.
I don't know if they'll be in a condition for them to even practice in because they were talking about, Coach Strom was saying they're not going to start the season there. And that was when we were talking to him, expecting breaking ground, within a week or two. And that was the beginning of the season. I remember I still wear my jorts at the games. I hadn't switched on to full pants yet.
Got a whole extra year. Good job.
Yeah. Getting these recruits in and like, oh yeah, we're going to have this here. And like, they're playing their senior year, Panthersville, like stupid.
We promise it's really going to happen. So.
No, every year.
I mean, it's not coach's fault, No,
definitely not the coach's fault. He would have had a baseball stadium and another athletic facility for training. Who knows? Like,
you think Coach Frady comes up for that first game? The first game in the new stadium? Because
I would
Freddie
hope
did
so.
so much good for the program and everything. I think he'd like to see that whole thing. I think he should be
Yeah.
honored.
Is he still around? I mean, where did he go?
Went down to Florida. Last I heard, this is what he had told me before his contract was non-renewed or whatever. However it happened was he already had a place built in Florida, and there was a community college or something like across the street or down the street from him. And he talked to the coach over there, and the guy's like, "Yeah, when you're retired, if you just want to come like hang out and be part of the program and share your advice and everything with the players and the coaching staff, we'd love to have you." So he kind of had his like retirement, just relaxation plan set up. I don't whether that happened or not. I don't know, but that's what he told me when we talked about it and everything.
Yeah. I mean, good guy. I don't expect him.
That'd be nice to get him out, but we should bring him up here and put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't expect any of that.
It sounds like too much work.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it sounds like news. It sounds like something you might use to like raise money, and there's not really an interest in doing that right now. So I don't know why
Yeah.
we'd do it. Why
Fair.
do it?
We'll
It's
figure
marketing.
it out one day, Ryan,
But we don't
one
know
day.
marketing, so yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
what else we got?
So back to
There
football
was-
sorry, go ahead,
Yeah,
Brian.
With back to football, I was gonna say like me and David both we watched the game here at my house, and we both thought Hurst played, but he only played a couple plays and was officially out for the game basically. And like coach talked about it in his press conference. He was like, yeah, he was like, he went. We thought he was okay, but but we just sort of decided that it was in the best interest for him not to play. And I guess he came in a couple times when when they felt like he might make a big difference, and then it didn't pan out. But
I don't
I
know
was
how many
looking for
times.
him. I didn't see
I don't know
him.
how many times he was actually on the field, but he was targeted twice. Both
Yeah.
were incomplete passes, and I don't recall the second one. I think it was in the third quarter, but the first one was in the second quarter where we were 4th and goal on the Troy 7-yard line, and it was overthrown. That was still
Yeah.
Cam when he was in, and it was just overthrown. And I guess like that kind of situation, maybe like, all right, we're going for it on 4th down. Our best shot to getting into the end zone is throwing it to Hurst. So get that get that guy limped leg over there, whatever's wrong, whatever has been plaguing him, get him over there to kind of make that all-star play. And then we botched the throw. So
I mean, like,
but yeah,
Hurst is a stud, right? Like, he's our best receiver. It's not even close. He's miles ahead. But if he's not really playing in the game, and then all of a sudden you see him come in, I think if you're a defense, you probably know where the ball's headed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like when it's like when Tebow first came into the NFL. It was at the Broncos that he was on, and like they would sit there, and whoever the quarterback they had at the time was, he'd march him all the way down the field. They get to the goal line, and they put Tebow in.
You're like,
yeah, all right, Tebow's going to run left, or Tebow's going to run right. Like that was like what the play was going to be every single time. So
it's just, yeah, I was saying it's just too obvious, right? What was going to happen?
It's still nice. Hurst is essentially out, and our next up, Javon Robinson, caught. I mean, he went for 146 yards, which and a touchdown, which is I feel like he plugged the hole, right? It's like if he could do that at number 2, not that necessarily, right? You can only do whatever the volume dictates,
Right.
but like if given his volume, he did something commiserate in other games along with Hurst doing what Hurst does, that's what I think is what we just talked about like at the beginning of the podcast, is like if we could get more consistent, like we've got the players and we've got the talent to do good things, and it seems like the execution just isn't happening in a consistent way, which
and
is
a lot of
frustrating.
fundamentals getting missed, like just way too many penalties.
Yeah, how
we
did we
saw
do
that
last game? I don't even pay attention.
It wasn't as bad.
It was
I
there,
looked
but
at
it wasn't as bad.
We beat.
Yes, Brian. Wait, we beat them?
Penalties. We had 5 penalties for 30 yards. They had 5 penalties as well, but for 55 yards, because I think they had a targeting in there.
I did. That one targeting was
that's right.
brutal.
And it was upheld. It looked brutal.
Whew.
But
I don't know. To me, I was like, it looked like he led with his helmet, but it looked like he hit him with his shoulder. So like,
Mhm.
I was like happy they called the penalty because I was like, oh, you can't lead with your helmet. That's the dangerous thing. That is the penalty, is that you did a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
But like, it didn't look like he got hit by the crown of his helmet. It looked like he got hit by the shoulder. So I mean, I guess I don't know everything about football, but
No.
or anywhere
No.
close. But I don't know. I just was like, didn't feel like it was that
I feel
bad.
like a lot of times when a player gets ejected is on something that, when you're watching the review in the stands, you don't feel like it's justified at all. That kind of charges up the team that lost the player. They're like, the hell with that. Like, this actually gave us some momentum now. We're gonna, bust our ass to make sure that you guys don't get away with, not that Georgia State controlled the officiating or anything, but just we're not gonna let this keep us down. So that
Yeah,
makes me a little
but
nervous sometimes when that happens. Unless it's like, they're taking out like, a JJ Watt or Jadavian Clowney or some crap like that. You're like, that's a playmaker. If he goes out, that changes the entire game plan.
I saw you saw the
I
player
said
on the
JJ Watt.
sideline when they like
DJ
announced it.
Watt.
He
TJ.
laughed, and I know that you laugh and like you're just like I'm ejected, like something terrible has happened to me. Sometimes you like laugh about something that's so bad that you just can't help but laugh at it. But I also was like, you kind of hurt our guy, and he's injured now
Yeah.
because of this call, basically. And like I don't know, it just felt weird to like see the laugh.
Well,
I don't know. That
with
was
the laugh like
frustrating.
that, to me, sorry, Tim. I was gonna say, I feel like that actually shows a little bit of sign of maturity. Like, if you kind of laugh it off versus storming your feet and throwing your hands in the air and cursing and yelling, you're kind of like, I know nothing I can do can change the outcome of this, so I'm just gonna, all right, what are you gonna do next? Kind of move on.
I just don't like the whole ejection part of that call. I get why it's there. It's to dissuade players from leading with a crown and helmet, but a lot of times as a player, you just naturally do that. And for you to be ejected it can happen on the first play of the game and you're
Yeah,
gone the rest of the game.
and
I
we've seen
just
that happen. Yeah,
I don't like that for any of the kids that are playing. I don't like it for the sport either. Like I just don't think it should be that way. Maybe twice in a game, you're out, right? Like
well, I think
you
that's why
got
in this
warned and you did it
review,
again.
even when you get the penalty for the targeting, and then they go to review to figure out whether it was intentional or not, and the targeting call still stands no matter what. You still got the first ball in the 15 yards or whatever the penalty is,
It's
but they
15,
they, they
yeah.
do go to review it. Like Ryan was saying, maybe they missed on that one, but yeah, ejection it's a pretty harsh one, especially when it's being.
It's super
I'm okay with
harsh.
it as long as they're getting it right. And
It's tough.
for so many years since they put that rule into place, they have not been getting it right so often. I feel like this one was, like I said, that he definitely led with the crown of his helmet, and it felt like, well, that was a dangerous play, and you got to discourage that. But you see so many that are just like wishy washy, and I'm like, if it's wishy washy, you're gonna kick this. I'm gonna say it because I'm being empathetic to the kid now. So you're gonna kick this kid out of the game because of like something that you don't really know. It's like a little wishy washy. You're like, I'm not sure
Yeah,
if it's this way or that way, and like I don't know. That doesn't feel good. If it's like cut and dry, kick the guy out for a half. That's
I still don't
fine.
like it. A half. I like that. Or a quarter. How about that?
No, it is a half. It is a half. If he well, no, it's the
It's a
it's the full
game.
game. It's one
Yeah.
game. Yeah. So it's yes. It's so like
Make it like
if they get
hockey.
kicked out in the first half, it's just that game. If they get kicked out in the second half, they also have to stay out
The
the
first
first half of
half.
the next game. Yeah.
I don't like red cards either.
I'm okay. It should just be rare. It should just be rare. That's all. It just should not be like a
there should be red cards for
well.
soccer. Needs red cards for flopping. If
Yes.
you lay on the ground and you hold your leg or your arm, whatever, like you're about to be like you're seeing great grandma's face in the shiny light in front of you, and then they red card the other dude, and you pop right back up and you're playing again. Red card on you, buddy. Stupid
I just think
flopping.
if you're gonna kick somebody for a whole game, you just need to be sure about it, right? It doesn't need to be debatable. Everybody needs to be looking at it, being like, yeah, that was not good. And
Yeah,
and football fans, yeah, we're a bunch of assholes and homers, and we'll yay and boo calls that we know better. But the fact is we do know better. Like, in the
That's
end, it's
why.
like,
That's why I
yeah,
never like hearing people cheer for penalties and flags. I'm like, why are you cheering for? 'Em?
Golf
We just got
clap.
hurt.
Golf
it's
Yeah, we
clap.
just
supposed
got
to be about
hurt.
safety, right? The rules are
Uh,
there for safety, for player safety, and if they're breaking the rules, then they're not safe. If we're cheering, then maybe it's not about safety.
yeah,
I don't
right.
know.
Yeah, get that guy out. Get the next guy on the field. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Now, another thing I wanted to say about McGee was, we talked about firing the staff and everything, but we also haven't talked about what if his alma mater Auburn comes or somebody else comes offering him like a running back coordinator position or offensive coordinator or something out there, and he has a chance to take a higher profile P4. And I mean, I know he came from Georgia. That's pretty. It's almost as high profile as you can get. But if he can get a better paycheck and get out of this mess that we got here and kind of saves face with everybody, what are the chances that he leaves because he takes a Sean Elliott out? You know?
I would if I were him.
I mean, I don't hate it. It'll give us a chance to kind of start over, right?
Yeah.
That's not the end of the world, you know?
Our luck, Cobb would just promote the stupid Hugh Jackson to head
No.
coach.
I mean,
God,
what it comes
don't even
down
put
to
that
is
out there.
Dell would have to look at it and say, "Do I think I can do this in a year?" And if he thinks that he can't fix it within a year, he should take the other opportunity. And if he does think he can fix it, that would be a coup, and he's a head coach at a P4 the following year if he can fix it.
So what you're telling me, Ryan, what I hear from what you're saying there is if Auburn or whoever comes calling and he takes that running back coordinator or that offensive coordinator or whatever that job is somewhere else, he's signaling how horrible it is at Georgia State.
He's signaling that he doesn't think he can get it done within a year,
Which,
is what I think I said.
Yeah.
yeah. So, well, yeah. So that means that when we go to the well to try to find somebody to take that position, that's what they're looking at. Like, oh man, Del McGee, two-time national champion with Georgia and all these accolades and this experience and all these people on his side. And he realized after 2 years of being at Georgia State that he didn't think he could do it, get that turnaround in 1 year. What's my first year going to be like? You're gonna have to find somebody that
Or
you're
with
gonna
an
have to hit.
ego.
They want to grind it.
You have to hit the
Right?
lottery. You
Yeah.
have to hit the
Wait, how are you
lottery.
going to find an ego in college football?
We need
Never.
to find someone that just won the lottery and is a head football coach. I think that combo.
We need
Suit
Lane
us well.
Kiffin to get some pictures
That's-
of him
I-
with
that's
a
what I was gonna say, Lane
co-ed on his
Kiffin.
knee or something like that. You know,
No, it's Lane Kiffin. Like that's the type of person we need. We need like an asshole who's willing to bend the rules. And if we get in trouble, we get a slap on the wrist. No SMU death penalty stuff. I'm not interested in that. But
how much is it to
just
get
little-
Urban Meyer out of retirement?
does he cheat to win? I don't know if he's ever gotten caught, which might be better.
He's really good then, right?
Yeah.
I think got a couple of national championships, right? Florida and
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think McGee saw the potential of Georgia State and probably still believes in it. I just, it just hasn't worked out in his favor. That's all.
How's our buddy Michael Vick doing over there? Where did he go? He went
He's
to
Mick, someone. I can't remember.
Are you just stringing together like syllables?
Jacksonville State, Meek Niece,
Jack Miss?
Alabama, Alabama State. He's somewhere.
He is the head coach for the Norfolk State Spartans.
Norfolk State. See, it's close.
That's Virginia.
Alabama.
Is that in Norfolk? Is
Jacksonville.
that in ODU? Is that in Norfolk, Virginia?
I mean, he's from Virginia. He's
He's
from
from Virginia.
native.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He was a Virginia Tech guy, right?
We get it.
Yeah,
Why
but
we get
he was a
Vic?
hometown pick. He was
Yeah.
from down the street or whatever. Yeah, we should get old Michael Vick. What's Norfolk State's record this year? What conference? I have no idea what they are. Norfolk State Spartans.
Look, man,
football.
we can go for all these guys. I don't care. Like, we got the guy that's good on paper, and we've had plenty of people who were like okay on paper and whatever. And I just want the guy who can coach this program up. I don't know who that is at this point, but I want that guy. I don't know who he is.
Whoever the hell Howard is beat him. He beat Norfolk State 44-15 last week. So, yeah,
Well, Howard's a jackass, man.
he's just kind of rubbing it in like a little jerk, isn't he?
Nah.
What do you guys want? Since we're talking about head coaches, I mean, would you prefer a new head coach next year, or would you prefer to give McGee one more shot?
It's just, do you want Cobb making that decision? Do
No,
you?
you're not Ben. You can answer the question.
And I'll just go ahead and say, I want Dell next year. I think
See,
I'm worried about him.
you
I think he's
pass.
on the way down. I think
He is.
he can save himself, and you give somebody the opportunity to do that. And 2 years is what you give him. The third year, I think if mid-year he's no good, you can cut him even mid-year, whatever. For as bad as he's been, you can cut him mid-year. But I think we owe it to him to give him 2 full years, and that's just
Two
the
and
right thing to do.
2 and
It's just
9
the right
tenths
thing to do.
years.
All right, David. Well, you're still thinking about your answer.
No, I'll give you my answer. I'll give you my answer. It's going to come in two parts. One, yeah, I think that you don't fire
One?
him. I don't think you
Okay.
fire him. And two, Norfolk State is 1-11 and plays in William Dick Price Stadium. Dude, playing your games at the Dick? Like, come on down to the Dick.
The dick. The
Come
double
on over
dick.
Come on
Yeah,
over to the Dick.
The double dick.
Do they have a parking garage that you park in, the Dick deck?
They got the best deck
This
ever.
went a different direction.
It's William Dick Price. It's like, what's your Dick price? It's William.
I would love nothing more to see McGee succeed. I would love for him to get one more season and cycle in some new assistants, coordinators, and he turns it around, and then we just start going the direction we all thought we were going to head when we first got here. That's my take. I don't want to see him gone.
I think
It
the
may-
chances of him turning it around are higher than us hiring the quote unquote right guy to come in
Right.
and
The
change it.
unicorn.
You know what I mean? Like the thing is they're gonna have to rebuild with their players and their vision and stuff, and like it's a lot more effort than
Our
if
buddy
he could just turn it
Emmanuel
around.
disagrees. Fire him.
Yeah,
Fire him. Hey, look, I could see that take too, 100%. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
none of this
It's been
is
a rough season,
look,
man.
None of this is acceptable. Like, and we've been through a lot. We all have, right? Like, we've been
Yeah.
through the bad seasons. This is pretty close to the worst.
This
Like,
is tied for
Yeah.
our second worst season ever because we've done the 0-12.
we have a 1 win.
Trent had 1-12 in his second season, or 1-11 in his second season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, but yeah, this is the worst we've been since Trent Miles' second year. Is that right? Is that accurate?
I think so.
Yeah, because
Seems right.
Sean always put together at least 2 or 3 wins,
He
right?
gets a 6-win season and a 4 3-win season. A 6-win
I still want to
season?
counter too to the do we really want Cobb replacing Cobb's hires have been happy on paper, right? Like you go in, you look at it on paper. We like Del McGee. We were like, shoot, man, this is a great hire. This is amazing. Even Southern people were like, this is a great hire. You guys made a great hire.
We're
Like,
jealous.
and they hate us. And they hate us. You know what I mean? And then
Heinous.
and like, and in basketball too, we were like, man, this is a great hire. And it hasn't been a great hire, but like on paper, they've looked pretty good. So like I'm okay with on paper looking good. Like hindsight's 2020, you can't really fault the guy for that. But we all thought these were going to be good hires.
So that begs the question: is it the hires or is it Georgia State? Is it that hard? I mean, we've seen Sean
Hires.
be pretty successful. Well, the most successful head coach here.
He was
Coach
not very
Hunter.
successful though.
Coach Hunter, by leaps and bounds, is one of
Killed
the best
it.
coaches. Yeah, you can see. So, if you have, in the 2 biggest premier sports you've got with football and college basketball, and you bring in back-to-back candidates that are just supposed to be, out of the park home run hires, and both of them can't amount to anything. Is it them or is it Georgia State?
It's them. I mean, that's an easy question. Like, is it harder to coach here because of fan support? I'm not gonna lie, of course it is. Would there be more fan support if we could build a winning culture and winning seasons back to back to back? Absolutely. Like, even Trash Down South fans were commenting about how crappy their attendance was this past weekend. Well, guess what? When you're not very good, that's what happens. So, yeah. Is it a more difficult job? Yes. Is it possible to build that fan support? Yes. Will that help the team perform? Apparently, yes. More fan support equals more wins. Doesn't matter
I still
if you have
think
Yeah.
more
that's why we
talent.
do better away than we do at home.
If
Like
more
like in
people,
in our history, we've actually played better away than at home, and I'm pretty sure it's because fan engagement away is still better.
You mentioned trash there, Tim. I did
yeah,
see a tweet this week, and he's like, some trash guy saying, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season we would beat Appy and Georgia State, and it was a bad season, I would have not have believed you. They're playing for bowl eligibility this week, I believe. Like
they are. It's
them,
the 5-6 bowl.
yeah. Whoever
Marshall.
Marshall, yeah. So whichever one of them makes bowl eligibility, and the other one doesn't. And then we didn't talk about the Sun Belt. We mentioned Troy not being able to make the wait, not Troy. ODU not being able to make the East. The East is settled with Jimmy Madison, but the West, we actually literally have a playoff game. Troy and Southern Miss are playing this week, and the winner of that game wins the West. So you actually got a little mini playoff game right there. And I'm fine with either one of them representing the West. Neither are from Louisiana, so I'm fine with that.
There's been some chatter. I mean, I like the divisions, but also at the same time, I would hate to be ODU, knowing that you're probably better than everyone in the West, and you can't get to the championship game.
Oh, they should have beaten Jimmy Madison.
They should have. Well, them and they lost to someone else, didn't they? There's two.
Yeah, probably like Arkansas State or some garbage.
Just like an
Yeah.
unknown loss.
That's the way it always happens. Yeah, because I think Jimmy's 7-0 in
Yeah,
conference.
Jimmy's 7-0 in conference. ODU's 5-2. They lost to someone. Let's see. They lost to Marshall, 48-24. Jimmy Madison, 63-27. So they just got walloped by two. I don't know. Marshall's
Yeah.
actually, middling in the
Well,
Sun Belt
Marshall
East.
and Old Dominion, they have that Conference USA rivalry. Like they're used to each other, and then ODU and Jimmy have that Virginia rivalry. Those were rivalry games. You never know what's going to happen in a rivalry game, right? That's what we tell ourselves.
You definitely never know what's going to happen.
All right, have we exhausted everything?
Do we have to talk about basketball? Can we just leave it for last call?
We kind of talked about we talked about how bad Jonas Hayes was. Yeah, let's hit the lowlights of basketball real quick. One, I haven't been able to watch any of these games because they're
I
all
saw it
like
on my phone, just a little score changing every so often. That's
yeah.
it.
So there was like this. What conference is Ryan? Just like, I'm out of here. South Dakota State's in like the Summit League or something like that. They had their own pay service to go through there, and then this Cancun Challenge is in Flow Sports or Flow Rida or something like that.
You got to pay
I'm
a
not
bunch
paying.
of money to see it.
Yeah, I'm not paying a bunch of money for 3:00 games in the afternoon. Maybe
3:00 games and like games we're not going to win. Right? Like,
yeah,
I might consider it if we looked good and could potentially win the games.
So our games. So we played South Dakota State. We'll get to the score in a minute. Their net ranking is 160. We had Samford today, which is 192. New Mexico State tomorrow, which is 158, and then before we record next week, we'll have Mercer at 191. Our net ranking is 315
out of 330 something,
something like that. Yeah, we've won one game this season.
I saw it too. I saw a win.
I think I saw a projection that we're at best going to win like 8 games this entire season, which seems high.
You get to the Sun Belt, it's kind of like Sun Belt football. Anything goes, right? So you just got to get past this onslaught of out of conference games against non-powerhouse teams to get to the Sun Belt teams.
The women and the men's played Samford today. That kind of escaped me at first. Yeah. So the women are hosting their own Thanksgiving tournament at the box, and the ladies beat Samford, and then we lost by 15 points to them, which is nowhere near as bad as the loss we had at South Dakota State by, what is that, 57 points we lost to them? 5? I can't math. How do you math?
Yes.
57 points. 57 points. Yeah, 105-58. So we were down at one point, 22-4.
It was so bad.
We were down 22-4 to start the game. That's absurd to me. and then 53-19 at the half. And whenever we've played a team like that, 53-19 is very reminiscent of Coach Hunter's teams when we were playing those Division II teams begin the season in the sports arena. And whenever we'd score 50 points in the first half, I'd be like, we're gonna break 100. That's what's gonna, if you score 53 in the first, you're gonna score 50 plus in the second. And we rarely did. We'd maybe be in the high 80s or something, maybe crest the 90s. A couple of times you hit 100. But you start once you're winning by that much, you play your bench players more, you put the white kids in, you do whatever it takes just to keep your guys healthy. Nope. Now it's South Dakota State. I don't know what they did. I don't know who they played. They may have played their white. Well, I think they had a bunch of white kids. Either way, they got their 100 points. They got 105 to 58.
It was pretty bad. Like, I was just like, what is going on? Like, we just had these great matchups that we had against power conferences, right? And then that buzzsaw came, and I'm like, whoa. I mean, they're supposedly a good mid-major, right? But like, we played power teams that we hung with much closer and competed with. We didn't even, out of the gates, they just trounced us.
They were jet lagged flying to wherever the hell South Dakota State is. Bismarck. That's North Dakota, right? Bismarck.
That sounds right.
We'll go with it.
I don't know where South Dakota State is. This is something we were talking about. We talked about this last week or whatever. Like, man, you'd think recruiting for basketball in Atlanta would be so much easier than recruiting for basketball in South Dakota State. Come on, it's Atlanta. It's a hotbed of activity. This is a great place to be.
Have you seen Bismarck, North Dakota? I mean,
no. I mean, you were talking about Kennesaw as like a people who live there, like love where they live and stuff like that, and like, yes, you're not wrong, but like Atlanta times 10. I mean, people from Atlanta like love Atlanta. People from Kennesaw claim Atlanta because they're like, that's where I live. I live in Atlanta. Like, that's the place to claim. So like, I just don't really buy. No, it's fine. Whatever, man. I just don't really buy like that as an excuse if like coaches were out there saying anything like that. I don't know. Like I get like us just like sort of talking about it and like trying to figure it out, but like that's not real. I mean, Atlanta's where like a lot of these guys want to be.
Exactly. It's where T.I. and Ludacris and probably a bunch of other rappers that are younger that I'm not aware of now. They're all here. They live here. These are the guys you see just like, hanging out at clubs and doing stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't go to clubs. I'm old.
We see all kinds of people hanging out these days with all the, I know we've been filming less in Atlanta lately, but man, there's like all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's crazy like watching shows and being like, I know that place.
Yeah. It's actually taken away a little bit from watching movies and TV shows nowadays because you'll be seeing stuff.
Atlanta.
And I wouldn't, not even just like seeing it. You're watching something. You're like, where in Atlanta is this? Where in Atlanta is that? And you're just trying to figure out. Like, I think I've been to that bar before, or I think I been to like that intersection or whatever it is.
I was watching Tulsa King, and I'm like sitting there watching it, and it's dumb to me. Like I'm like, man, this is not good TV, but it's like just dumb enough that I will binge it all, But I'm sitting there watching it, and it's downtown Stone Mountain. I'm like, I know that mural, and then it was like the Cherokee Rose, and like they're sitting in the parking lot that I parked at where I took my wedding pictures and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I know all of this like well.
You're like watching a movie or something, and you have this little inkling. There's a cut scene. You're like, that looks familiar. I think this is Atlanta. And then you're like intently watching every scene till you hit like that. Oh my God, that's so and so, or that's Peachtree Road, because they always like to film on Peachtree Road for some reason.
Well, there's like 20.
I was watching Cobra Kai, like season 2 or season 3, whatever. There's a car chase scene, and then a fight breaks out, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's Sylvan Hills. That's back then was where I was taking my kids for daycare. Like every single day, I was like, I drive down that road. This road that you're having in the valley of Los Angeles. Yeah, I take my kids to, they're in Atlanta every single day. So
that Shazam scene I remember still living in Summer Hill, and like they redid the
Whole
whole
thing.
Woods Chapel. It was like a cheesecake place. They the whole facade. They put up a whole facade that was like this whole other cheesesteak place. And people would they told me people were walking up being like, "Oh, I want a cheesesteak," and they're like, "We don't sell cheesesteaks."
But
But yeah, but they like set that up, and then when I watched it, I was like, "Oh man, that's so cool," because it was like literally like half a block from my house. I
Dude,
was
not
like,
even half a
"That's
block,
neat."
man. Dude, I can't
I
throw
mean,
a
you could
ball
throw
worth
a
shit.
rock,
I could have thrown a
probably.
ball from
Yeah.
your doorstep. I mean, if there was no like buildings in the way, I could have done it. Right? You know, when I saw that preview for Shazam, the trailer for Shazam, and he was sitting there, I was like halfway crooks. Like it just it stood out immediately. And
Yeah.
I tried to when the trailer to Superman came out and the fight scene they had at the football stadium, I paused and I freeze frame and I tried to convince myself that was Center Park Stadium so badly. It blatantly was not, but I tried to convince
You
myself that it
wanted it
was.
to
Like
be.
this could have been this one scene right here could have been at Center Park, but no.
I
So
was about to ask you if it was because you know how much I love that movie, and I've watched it now multiple times. I probably watched that movie like 5 times since it's come out.
I've I've seen it 3 times.
Did you ever get like meat smells waffling over to your house from
But yeah,
Woods Chapel? Like you were
every
way too
evening.
close.
If I showed up, if I went out on my patio at like 2 in the morning, that's when the brisket was like coming my way. You know,
Well, I mean that makes
that's when.
sense.
Make me
They would
hungry.
start doing that because they got to have it ready for the next day. It's an
Yep.
overnight cook.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass cook. That's why I don't do brisket because it's like a weird lopsided one. You can't just like sleep for 8 hours and then like wake up and check on it. You gotta like it's like weird. It's a
Yeah,
weird timing.
tend to it. All right, let's
Yeah,
get out of here, guys. All
yeah,
right,
that's fair.
barbecue talk is when we really start realizing it's the last call
Wait, we
time.
are on
So,
last call, right?
No,
Tim, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for listening. We're going to take a quick break here, heading over to last call. I definitely need a beer. We've gone for almost an hour, not quite. If you like what you heard or you didn't, doesn't matter. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/State of Atlanta. You'll get live streaming access to last call, group chat action, discounts on merch, maybe some future basketball tailgates on the top of the, don't know what the deck is called, but that deck. The convocation deck? I don't know.
Box
The
deck.
box deck? The
Mm.
box upper deck?
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah. $5 is all it takes per month to support the show. Say goodbye, guys.
goodbye, guys.
Peace.